Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Waharachak Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Anah back with another lesson. And the Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai, is edifying. Today, I just want to get into, a certain topic. My rib actually came and asked me a question about, concerning does, demons know who the elect are? And, just want to expound on that a little bit. I explained it to her to the best of my ability. And, I said, well, since I'm going into it, I might as well make a lesson out of it, bring some edification to the elect, And, a quick answer is yes, most definitely. These demons, when I say demons, meaning the spirits, the evil spirits, the spirits of evil, because there's spirits on the right-hand side who does things concerning to bring prophecy and, the things concerning the elect. They work on behalf of the elect, which Yahweh Shai is the head of. Scriptures speak about him sitting at the right hand of the Most High. Okay, so he is in authority on the right hand side, but there's also a left hand side, which the spiritual demon Satan is, head of that side, and he works through the left hand side of the Most High to bring evils. All right. So they work simultaneously and to accomplish the same goal, really, because the Most High has multiple agendas, if you will. Some agendas that are accomplished on the left-hand side through the evil spirits or the demons, if you will. Okay. And there's some that are accomplished on the right-hand side through the righteous spirits, spirits that watch over the elect and, accomplish his good deeds. Okay. Let me do this right quick. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 32 and 39. It says, see now that I, even I, am he. The Lord is a man. His image, if you will. Okay, if he was an actual person, it would be a man. It says, I am he, not I am she or them or they, all these crazy pronouns this world has starting to adopt to describe only two sexes you're born with. It's either he or she. Okay. It says, see now, I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Okay. So he's basically telling you, I am in charge of every facet of life, whether it's death or life. whether it's to kill or heal. Okay. Here goes another one. Isaiah 45:7. Okay. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, do all these things. I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, I create the light and make the darkness. I send good times and bad times. I, the Lord, am the one who does these things. You see that? So, there's nothing that happens that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai does not control. So that's why it's a farce when, these Christians tell me that the Most High allows Satan to rebel against him in the heavens to the point where he took 2/3 of the angels and made war against the Most High in the Most High's heavenly kingdom. Are you kidding me? That just, think for a second. Think for a second, man. Make it make sense. He created him. He gave him all the power that he even has to do anything in the realm of causing evil. But yet he's going to rebel against the Most High, and the Most High will just allow him to live. That's not even logical, man. The scriptures tell you that, the sun, the moon, the stars, the seasons obey him without falter. They don't. When is the last time the sun said, I ain't coming out today, man. I don't feel like it. I ain't going to work. Or the moon just said, I'm going to stay where I'm at. I ain't going out. I ain't getting no light. I ain't, Or the seasons just say, hey, I don't feel like, being summer tonight. I don't feel like being summer this year. I'm not feeling like it. That's impossible. From the time the Most High gave them their occupation, they've been doing it without fail. Okay? So it's ridiculous. But, sticking to the subject, man. Yes, the elect is known by the evil spirits, man. As well as the 2/3 are known by the evil spirits. You see? Let me see which one I want. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. You see? So the Lord sanctified the elect from before the womb, from the foundation of the earth, if you will. There were certain spirits that were selected and given, they were given certain assignments, So the authority to touch them or persecute them from a spiritual standpoint of a demon they have to get authority from the Most High first. And you can see that in the book of Job. Okay, let's go there. Let's see. Okay. Job 1:6. It says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and Satan came also among them. Wait, is Satan the son of the Most High? Is that what it's saying? Yes. Yes. Satan is the son of the Most High on the left-hand side. You know, he does the Most High's work on the evil side. The Most High does not come off his throne to do anything. He dictates, he delegates who does what. He has teams or selected spirits to handle that for him. He's the Most High. He don't lift a finger. He delegates. You do such and such. You do such and such. Go do this. Go do that. And report back. Like as I'm about to read it. It says, verse 7, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord. Satan answered the Lord after he asked him, yo, what you been up to, Satan? Report. That sound like a boss to me. That sound like Satan got a boss, and the boss is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, we're going to read that again. Verse 7, it said, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. You see? So Satan has to answer to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. He needs his authority to do things, right? It says, let me see. Okay. I'm going to just read through 8. It says, verse 8, it says, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil. Okay, then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Does he fear you for nothing? Okay, he says, hast thou not made an hedge about him? Yeah, the Most High has his elect protected. A hedge, you know, is like a fence, a protection, Shemaya, you know, Shemayim, right? A guard, you know, he keepeth his own, right? It says, and about his house. So the elect's house is also protected, okay? Not just, you know, your house, meaning your body, you know, but your household in this case, okay? It says, and about all that he hath on every side. Yeah, the elect has protection, and everybody underneath their roof profits from the Lord having an order of protection over that man. And I say that man because, you know, not saying that there's not an elect lady, but usually, okay, the reason why there's an elect lady is because she has a head, a man, and that man serves the Most High, so that therefore that lady, the elect lady, is protected through the man, her head. There's an order to things, right? And pretty soon, when we start going through Jacob's trouble, you're going to notice that a lot of women are going to realize that they need a head for that protection, right? It says, thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. You see that? It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Most High, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay. So right there, you can see that there's a dynamic between Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and Satan as one portraying, one has authority, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai having the authority over Satan as like a boss and a worker, right? But that is just setting up, more so what I would like to go into, which is the book of Acts and 19. I think I was. Okay. Acts 19 and 11. Okay. Which, when you understand that Paul, Apostle Paul, was directly taught by Yahweh Shai and given a special blessing, a portion, if you will, more heavy than most, if not all, I believe, all of the other apostles. Okay. It says miracles at Ephesus. It says Acts 19:11, and the Most High wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul, so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs and aprons, and the diseases departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them. You see that? So Paul's presence, spirit, if you will, imparted into these items, and the spirit worked through those items just by, a touch or laying these items upon, the unwhole, the sick, the disease, or evil spirits left them just because they came in contact with those items. Now that is some spiritual power, man. And Lord willing, hey, pretty soon here, the Lord will bestow his men with powers like that too. Okay. It says, so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs, aprons, and the diseases departed from them, and the spirits went out of them. Okay. So that's a heavy spirit right there. You know, if you remember, the woman with the issue of blood touched Yahweh Shai's hem of his garment and she was healed. So you got to understand how heavy a spirit Paul had on him to do that. You know, I don't recall any of the other apostles or disciples having such a heavy spirit on them. Okay. It says, then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, saying, we adjure you by Yahweh Shai, whom Paul preacheth. So he, these cats didn't even really believe in the name Yahweh Shai themselves. They said, in the name of Yahweh Shai, whom Paul preacheth. That one, that Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Yahweh Shai, Paul preacheth. So they didn't have the spirit on them to even believe that they actually, could do it through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Shai on their own. They still was trying to work through Paul. Okay, and let's look up that word, adjure, if we will. I believe I know what it means, but for the sake of education, we adjure you. Okay.
Strong's G 3726, harkidzo. Harkidzo.
Harkidzo. Okay. Harkidzo. Okay. G 3727. It says to force, to take an oath, to administer an oath, to adjure, solemnly implore. Okay. To put on oath, i.e. to make swear by analogy, to solemnly adjure, adjure, to charge. Okay. Basically to swear by the name of Yahweh B'Shem Shai, to do, what, as far as like to make that demon be compelled to do what they wanted them to do, like an exorcism, like the scriptures describe, which that word exorcist,
Strong's G 1845, exarchistes. Exarchistes.
Exarchistes. It says he who extracts an oath of one, an exorcist, one who employs a formula or a conjuration for expelling demons. Yeah. Slovakia. It says one that binds by an oath or spell by implication, an exorcist, a conjurer, an exorcist. Okay. So one that expels demons or spirits out of, the body, or possession of a body. Okay. It says, was Khan. I'm gonna read 13 again. It says, "This then certain of the vagabond Jews exorcists took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahushua, saying, We adjure you by Yahushua, whom Paul preacheth." Okay, so these men didn't really have the spirit of Yahushua on them. Okay, but they were trying to perform exorcism in the name of Yahushua, but not really believing, to believe in believing in Yahushua themselves, really. Verse 14, it says, "And there were 7 sons of one Shkeva, a Jew, and a chief of the priests, which did so." So this man had 7 sons, and one of them, tried to do an exorcism. And watch what the demon said to him. It says, verse 15, "And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye?" See that? So basically, like, nigga, I don't know you. I know Yahushua. I know Paul. They got authority over me. Yeah, but you, I don't know you. You are not of one of the elect. You don't have no authority over me. You see that? Because the elect have authority through the name and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And his authority wasn't recognized when he tried to do, the exorcism. Okay. It says, verse 16, look at what happened. It says, "And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded." You see that? So they didn't have the spirit on them of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to even have the authority to do that. They were trying to make a name for themselves, and they trying to be self-willed. They wasn't employed by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. So that's what happens to the men, that don't come in the name. They try to take, a back way into this truth. And that's why you see them leaking oil, you see, and they lose the spirit, which they never had the spirit anyway, because they're not of the elect. But, yeah, that's it, man. I just wanted to go into that real quick. Lord willing, is edifying, to the point. Until next time, I say shalom, shalom.